All right, welcome on board, everybody, for another late night stream. And as you might have guessed, I'm doing UBOAT again. A very special hi to weight loss games. Hi, nice to have you in. I hope you had a smooth, transition out of the week. So it was Friday. Our local time is already Saturday. It's something like midnight around here. So welcome everybody. Great to have you in. Yeah, we are doing the Arctic missions at the moment, but since a while we were quite unsuccessful in actually finding booty, prey, target ships, merchant convoys. We didn't find a single merchant convoy yet in this mission, so there must be something going on up here, so I'm pretty confident that we will find some prey in this stream. Yeah, you see we already have traveled quite a lot. Let me show you. That's the quadrant where we are, Arctic convoys. And yeah, we are almost through. We already have traveled almost 1200 miles, but I really want to sink ships up here. Yeah, we are in the early year in January of 1943, so we are more than 3 years into the war. And meanwhile, I am the proud commander of a Type 7C submarine. That was not always the case. I'm doing a complete playthrough through the campaign of the whole war. That means I started many months ago in real life and more than 3 years ago in game time. In the year of 1939, September 1939, the war started, and I started as a tiny little captain of a tiny little Type 2 submarine, low range, low top speed, few torpedoes in Wilhelmshaven. Back then, I started to earn my merits, and I shared all the whole adventures with you. And I'm very happy that there is a small but fine viewership following me in that campaign, along the whole campaign. And yeah, one of them is already in. Weight Loss, he is with us. And yeah, by the way, let me mention that Weight Loss does stream by himself just as well, so take the time and look at what he does. I pretty much like it. Yeah, there are a few more people in the chat already, but yeah, don't feel pushed to put something into the chat. Just watch anonymous and it's fine, but as I used to say, you could make a little streamer like me a little bit more happy if you would just participate in the chat. So, after having earned our merits in the North Sea and in the close Atlantic, we shifted our home port to La Rochelle and finally were able to go far across the Atlantic, first doing the Black Pit missions in the center of the Atlantic, and then was the great moment when headquarters gave us milk cows, so we could position large, bulky transport submarines, supply submarines, and only this opened up the opportunity to get over to the other side of the Atlantic. Going over, refueling, and then going to the target area. Here I was successful, and after that I decided to turn back to not so far shores and do the Arctic Convoys mission set. For that I transferred my home port to Bergen, and now I have the target area just at my doorstep. But we have already traveled quite some time and just didn't run into any target. But let's not give up. Let's carry on. We still have plenty of food. We have a full complement of torpedoes, of course, because we didn't run into any enemy. Discipline is fine, and we still have a lot of fuel. So perfect conditions. Yeah. Well, what was it like in the movie? Would anybody guess which movie I mean if I say, how was it in the English original? So here we are. We have a full tank, half a pack of cigarettes, and 300 miles to Chicago, or something like that. I think I'm not quoting it correctly. But some of you might recognize the movie. And on we go. Yeah, it's January, so we are in the middle of winter, which means that we have very, very short days up here in the north. Like right now it's nighttime, and yeah, let me mention that I play with maximum difficulty, not quite, almost maximum difficulty level. And so dark nights is one of the features. But yeah, the beautiful thing about the game is how realistically it does simulate and depict the boundary conditions, the weather, the moon. Like here, now we have quite some moon shining, and that gives us quite a bit of eyesight. So the weather conditions have very high influence on how missions actually go, and this helps a lot that the game never becomes boring and no encounter is exactly like the other. Yeah, let's carry on. And yeah, maybe 2 more hours, and then we are going to do another hydrophone check. Yeah, okay, let's wait until we go on to an eastern course. Here we are. And let's do the hydrophone check right now.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Yeah, what's happening? This is some standard workflow, so that you don't have to do too much micromanagement. Mr. Schultz just opened the valves, so that now we have seawater running into our ballast tanks. You can see that the crew has been run into the fore compartment to give additional ballast. By the way, Mr. Schneider is doing standard maintenance as well. There we are, front ballast tank filled, and the aft ballast tank always comes with a little bit of a delay for obvious reasons. When we want to dive, we would like to get the bows down quickly. 2 crew hands have manned the depth steers, and there we go.
Meter.
Meter.
50 meters. The crew brings the boat down to 50 meters on that order, stops the engines, and stays there for 5 minutes,
50 Meter.
checking the hydrophone, and then getting back to the surface. By the way, Mr. Hinrich, our radio officer, is on the hydrophone. Let's give him one additional sail, which would increase the listening range by 25%. Oops, sorry. I have to sneeze. The guys in the boat have to cough. Yeah, in real life it was pretty cold around here for the last 3 weeks, and particularly cold for the last week. But yeah, I know that there are also quite a few people from, for example, Canada. And if I tell you, Canadian guys, that -5 degrees is particularly cold, you would probably just throw yourself away laughing. But around here, where I live in the Frankfurt area, west of Frankfurt, it's pretty seldom that it gets that cold. Yeah, they grow wine around here, actually. Yeah, it's the world famous Riesling. At least I hope that it is world famous, because I really love that wine. Here you have it depicted. See what enormously large detection range we have with hydrophone, more than 90 miles of radius, and we should be able to detect just any propeller moving in that range. And yeah, it's only 5 knots of wind speed up there, so the sea is pretty quiet. If there is a storm going on and you have quite a swell, all this, yeah, gives quite some background noise and reduces the range of the hydrophone. But at the moment we do have perfect weather. But no contacts at the moment. Yeah, actually I started my stream a bit later, at something like 20 past midnight. Yeah, I could have started earlier, but I just wanted to do one little dive into Bannerlord, one of my favorite games which I usually don't stream, and I got stuck there, so I played Bannerlord for a little bit longer than I wanted to. And that's why I am a little bit late with my stream here. Yeah, Bannerlord is really also one of my long-term favorites, and I would love to stream it, but somehow I do have the gut feeling that the game is kind of too complex. I don't know. Whenever I try to stream it, I had this gut feeling that it was not right for streaming. Although I love the game. Yeah, I just checked it before. I have more than 2,000 hours in Bannerlord. Okay, I have to admit that my children also have a few of them, but yeah, most of that is mine.
Anblasen.
There we go, back to the surface, no contact. Well, that's it. That's it for now. Just a bit of water in the bilge. Mr. Schultz, now he's opening the other valves, which actually let our compressed air stream into the ballast tanks and push the water out again. Yeah, at first hand you might think that you would just use a pump to get the water out, but that's just too slow actually. Particularly when you're deeper, you would never get the water, all that water out of the ballast tanks in a reasonable time. So it was quite a, I would say, smart invention to use compressed air for that. Hey, yippee up! Hi, hi! Nice to have you, and Josh, you're also with us. Great. Great to have you with us, both of you. So, yippee up, I think we haven't seen for a few days, so how was your week? And yeah, Josh, I think you were in the stream yesterday, weren't you? I think we did have a little chat. So I hope all of you had a smooth transition into the weekend. Friday is over and the weekend is coming, or we are already deep into the weekend actually. At least around here. I always have to consider that. Around here it's already 20 minutes to 1 o'clock in the morning, but yeah, I know for you it's probably something like 5 or 6 hours earlier. Yeah, for me, I also had a busy week at work, actually. Had quite some important presentation on Wednesday, but yeah, it went alright. And yeah, it was a good week at work, good start for the year. Good meeting on Wednesday. Yeah, okay, yep. Actually, in Germany we had that just as well. Not around here, but I think in some northern parts of Germany there was also so much of a snowstorm that people wouldn't go to school or to work. I think I heard something. I didn't follow the news today thoroughly, I have to admit. Hey, removed koala. Nice to have you in. Okay, my schedule. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it. I thought I had it scheduled for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm gonna check it. Yeah, well, you would laugh. We had something like a few centimeters of snow, but that's pretty unusual. And most of it is gone by now, but it's pretty unusual that there is still patches of snow around after something like 2 days or 3 days. Okay, but I definitely have to check my schedule. I thought that I had announced on a regular basis me to be online on the Friday nights. Oh, 60 miles, okay. I think around here, they announced. Actually, I have to admit I didn't. Yeah, well, I went shopping, but just by car, so I didn't quite get an impression. Went to the supermarket. into the garage and back home. So didn't get that much of an impression of the weather, but not today. In the news, they said that it would be something like, 60 miles? That's a lot. Yeah, it's what I always wondered about is that here in the game, the maximum wind speed is 25 miles, which would be something like strong wind, I think, on the before scale, something like 6. So if you say 60 miles per hour of wind speed, that would be something like 11 or 12 before, wouldn't it? Yeah, removed koala. It looks like that's interesting. It looks like that Twitch actually translate my schedule into your time zone. So to be honest, as I'm not 100% sure in which time zone you are, I just can't confirm if that's correct. In my own time zone here, I think I scheduled something like 11:30 till 2:30 in the morning or something. But yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, somehow self-explaining. Twitch is an international platform, so they have to take care that they translate these times to the particular time zones. Wow, hey, come on, Josh. 100 miles per hour. That's enormous, isn't it? Yeah, yep, same for me. So in 1.5 months, I'm gonna go for a skiing holiday with my family. But if you ask me right now, I don't need more snow, more cold. Yeah. Some warm weather. I don't know. But I don't know. Are they Czech? They are from Europe. I think. Are they Czech guys? But don't quite know. Yeah, hurricane. Yeah, if you have something like 100 miles per hour, that's definitely 12 before. I always wondered why in this game they limited it to 24 or 25 miles per hour of wind speed, because that's just half of the scale. Yeah, not quite. I mean, you see, you could go even higher. So they wouldn't really have this, real gale hurricane conditions. Yeah, of course, you don't have hurricanes in the northern Atlantic, but yeah, what I mean is just enormous waves. Yeah, the waves and everything looks pretty nice, but they really didn't implement, up to now at least, they didn't implement a real storm.
Kurs setzen.
Ah, come on, let's accelerate time.
Gut gemacht, Männer. Unsere
Okay,
Bestimmung ist beendet.
mission complete, but still, I want to sink some ships. We have finished the mission because we have traveled 1200 miles.
Funkraum besetzt.
But still, I don't want to return back home just without any tonnage. No, I never saw any icebergs, but that would be nice if they would implement that in the game. If you're sailing so far in the north around here, icebergs would really be an issue.
Funktelegramm gesendet.
Yeah, congratulations. Yep, yep. That's good. All right. So if you say science, what would that mean? I mean, in German, we usually have dedicated courses in physics, biology, chemistry. So if you say science, I would understand that it's kind of a combined lesson about these three.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Okay, now the wind has been increasing to 18 knots by now. We do have a bit of a storm going on, bad weather. And there is the first hint of its sunlight up there in the east. We will see. The weather isn't the best, it's a thunderstorm. On we go.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Bestätige.
Okay, weather has improved. Just 8 knots, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. And here we are. We have daylight. Nice. But see, it's 10 o'clock and the sun is just about to rise. That's because we are so far in the north. And that's so beautiful. I love these kind of views. There you see that sailor. It's the captain actually. Captain on the bridge scanning the horizon for enemies, for convoys. And they just don't turn up. Well, I really wonder how they keep the deck gun running. Salt water is so aggressive. And I really wonder how they manage to keep that precision thing, like a gun, like a deck gun, working when it is always like, underwater or at least sprayed with seawater all the time. Yeah, if you have ever experienced how fast any anything made out of steel deteriorates in naval atmosphere, in sea, water, just the wind. The wind blowing the salt, having airborne salt and water particles being sprayed onto steel constructions. Yeah, they just deteriorate so fast, and so I really wonder how could they keep their deck gun running. Probably it was a lot of oil involved.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
$12. Hey, look at that. We are sailing more or less due north. So the sun is right astern on lunchtime, and it's so low. It's lunchtime. Yeah, that's the north. The sun never actually gets up, but at least it gives us a little bit of daylight. From 10 to 4 or something. 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. So let's do another hydrophone check.
50 Meter.
Can't believe that there is no any target around. Hey Colin, good evening. Nice to have you in. I always love to have you in because, yeah, the YouTube community used to be not as chatty as the Twitch community, which is a bit of a pity. So I'm always happy to have you in. So it's the paint, you think? But yeah, could you really paint the inner of the gun bore?
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Yes. Shredder, isn't it? They really do it beautifully.
25
All these surroundings, the seasons, the daytime, nighttime, sunset, sunrise, and yeah, even taking heed on the position on the globe where you are. That's so great.
40 Meter.
By the way, Shredder, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. How are you doing? Hope you had a smooth transition to the weekend.
Geräusche. Große Gruppe. Peilung 100 Grad.
Yeah, Colin, yeah. The same stuff they used on the 4th railway bridge. I guess you are thinking about that big railway accident that we had back then. What was it, in the 19th century, some end of the 19th century?
50 Meter.
Yeah, is it? Isn't it? Yeah, same for us. We are all waiting for the DLC end of the month.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
It's not that much people playing it, not that much people streaming it. It's kind of a niche, yeah. That's what I think. Yeah, there was this railway accident in Scotland and on the 4th of Firth, is it, right? I think that's what you mean, right? Firth of Forth, north of Edinburgh. There is a pretty famous German author from the 19th century who actually made a poem about that accident.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Yes. Finally we get a contact. Aquicing, I just see you dropping in to the chat. It's a pleasure to have you, but excuse me to be a little bit distracted because after hours and hours and days, now it looks like we finally are getting a contact and it's not too far away. We don't have any information whether they are closing in or moving away, but let's see.
Herr Kapitän?
There we are. Yeah, right, cool. Something to shoot at. Yeah. Okay, hey, Shredder, you're from Australia? And while, yeah, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have winter, you have summer down there. Okay, you have that burning bushes again. Is this what you mean? Yeah, Colin, you mean they have a special formula for the steel, right? Having some kind of stainless steel, which makes the paint unnecessary. But isn't that the bridge where there was this train accident back then? End of the 19th century?
Anblasen.
Okay, nice. So we got that convoy tracked down. Getting back to the surface.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
15 Meter.
Yeah, just a bit of water in the bilge. Uncritical. There we are.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind auf.
So I somehow do have the gut feeling that this is going to be a night encounter.
Kurs Kurs auf diese Koordinaten.
They're pretty close. So if I go flag speed,
Äußerste Kraft voraus.
yeah, wind is moderate with 8 knots. So we should do something like, yeah, let's go for half an hour, which would be 8 miles. And then do another hydrophone check after another half an hour to get a second reading of their position, and then we can extrapolate their course and interpolate their speed. Hey, Vesicle, a lot of well-known faces, if I may call it like that, in the stream. It's a pleasure to have you in. Hope you had a good day. Yeah, I turned it off actually. If you like, I can sing it for you, but maybe you would prefer me not singing. It's raining ash, yeah. Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah. So I think this is kind of a natural thing, isn't it? I mean, these bushfires. Do you think it's kind of man-made or part of the climate change or something? Or I think I also heard that it was going on like that since, yeah, like thousands of years, and that these bushfires are kind of, yeah, part of the natural cycles. It's 12:15. Let's go until 1:45. Here we are. Yeah, come on. What else can we do than doing another hydrophone check and get another position? Mr. Scholz opening the valves to flood the ballast tanks. Yeah, and the off-watch crew having assembled in the front compartment.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Schraubengeräusche. Große Gruppe.
Ah.
345 Grad.
There we have them. Right away.
25 Meter. Meter.
Herr Kaloin?
Hey, come on, they haven't been moving much. Convoy 01.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
So if you look at that, Ah, come on, that's not possible. Can't be that they only moved 2 miles within half an hour.
45 Meter.
That would mean that they were moving with 4 knots. No, there are never any convoys or any ships moving on with just 4 knots. However, let's get back to the surface. Let's not prolong that for too long and keep on chasing them.
Koordinaten setzen.
If this is correct,
40 Meter.
they are moving something like that.
20 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht.
It's like walking into an oven, yeah. Yeah, you could have a sauna there. Yeah, that's pretty amazing if you compare it to the climate that we have around here right now. Well, I have it cozy, warm in my little computer room here, but yeah, outside it's something like, yeah, -2 or 3 degrees, I think. Hey, we already have eyes on the convoy. That's amazing. Let's have the captain on the bridge. There they are. Yeah, pretty clear. Quite a few columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there you can clearly see. But that's a bit weird. It is a bit weird. That doesn't quite fit to the readings that I got. But we will see. Yeah, I'm living in Germany, as you all of you have guessed by my accent for sure. And as I said, I am living in the Frankfurt area, but the further Frankfurt area, so I'm living quite something like 50 kilometers west of Frankfurt. Yeah, there's not much snow, so in the area around here, it's relatively warm usually. So having something like -5 degrees Celsius like we had in the last days, that's pretty extraordinary. Usually it's warm around here, and usually it's just like, yeah, in the winter it just barely freezes. Another half an hour. Yeah, the Nürburgring racetrack. Yep. Yep. Ah, it was the Tay railway bridge. Yeah, okay. Towards Dundee. Okay, that's another bridge. Yeah, it's not that one, right? That's further north, isn't it? I think I had been in Dundee once. I think I started a hiking trip there to the northwest. Yeah, so I was wrong. It was not the bridge over the Firth of Forth. It was the Tay, yeah. Which one is the Burger racetrack? You mean Nürburg? Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, allow me to be AFK just for 1 minute. They are moving away. So that schedule or that pattern that I see there on the horizon really doesn't fit to that movement that I extrapolated. So I'm pretty curious. But allow me to be AFK for just 1 minute. I think I'm gonna get me a slice of bread, but I'll be back in 60 seconds. Turner. Wasn't that this British painter who used to paint ships? Turner? I can't quite tell whether they are heading more or less straight for me or more or less straight away from me. To be honest, I feel that they are heading towards me. So let's change course to 25 by 25 degrees.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
And let's see. Yeah, sorry guys for the munching noises. Yeah. Yep, you're right. Always be aware of the lead escort. Well, let's give it a save. I didn't save. Tonight. Yeah, but I'm still unsure. Are they moving away from me or are they moving towards me? Hey, not wet, just cold. I wasn't aware that you were with us. Welcome and good evening. Hope you had a good Friday. Yeah, and if you look at the smoke, what would you say? I think it's a bit undecisive, but my feeling is that they are moving towards me and not away from me. What do you think, guys? Yeah, reciprocal, we will see. Yeah, these guys. And these guys, they are heading more or less straight towards me, if they do. So finally we are getting some action here in the Arctic. Maybe they're zigzagging because them moving straight towards me doesn't quite fit to their course that I extrapolated before. I can't tell how long you can stay submerged. I couldn't say in hours. Yeah, I think you could stay 8 hours submerged, yep. The critical thing then will be the air quality. Yeah, that would be my guess also. Something like 8 hours, yep. Yeah, I do have a quite an enhanced battery. And usually it's more about the air. Oxygen usually becomes the limiting factor for me. Yeah, when I dive down, I usually hide away from escorts, and that means I'm not moving too fast, just slowly, sneakily. And so usually not the battery charge status is the problem, but the oxygen. Exactly, yeah. And even if I'm running blue lights, still oxygen consumption is usually the limiting factor, making it critical. But I used to have a lot of, well, you have here the ventilation system. And there you have these potassium absorbers. So whenever you turn on the ventilation system and have it loaded with potassium absorbers, that actually kind of filters the air and improves air quality considerably. That makes a lot of sense to do. I think they are coming towards me. Are they? Never knew that, actually. Potassium in bananas? The Simpsons movie. I think I have seen it, but might be that I don't recall the details. Yes. Okay, yeah. Hey, Chainsaw. Great to have you in. Good evening. How are you doing?
Schornsteinrauch, große Gruppe. Peilung, 5 Grad.
Yep. Colin, that's right. That's the problem, that it's so noisy. But, so what I actually implemented as a standard procedure when I am low on oxygen and maybe even have a little bit of water, too much water in the bilge, whenever a destroyer, an escort, is passing by right above us and starting to drop depth charge at us, whenever that happens, I turn on the ventilation and turn on the pump, because then all that noise of the depth charge of the destroyer passing by above, they will just mask our noise. Oh, see, they have changed course. They are zigzagging. They are definitely zigzagging. Yeah, but they are doing that large-scale zigzagging. I think you might be right. Yeah, they might already be under attack by another sub, but might also be that that this is just standard procedure to mask their course.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
So my guess would be that they stay on that course for another half an hour and then turn around again. Let's see. Hey, Lord of Choco, good evening. It's great to have you in. Long time no see. How are you doing? How was your week? Did we already wish each other a Happy New Year? I'm not quite sure whether I think we didn't see this year. So, Lord of Choco, I wish you all the best for the new year. Yeah, quite sing, yeah. Just sync the friendly sub with the T5 like I did a few weeks ago, yeah. Yeah, not wet, just cold. Sometimes other U-boats mess it up, but I had plenty of situations where I was pretty glad that other U-boats kind of distracted the escort from me. Yeah, for me it's fine. I had a good week and a good night. And yeah, I had been patrolling these areas here of the Arctic convoy mission set for quite a long time. Didn't find anything, so I'm very happy that we finally ran into this convoy. Yes. Yeah, Shredder. There is one other reason why I don't report convoys, because I'm always afraid that they might just pick up my signal. Even if they would not be able to decipher my code, they would still recognize that there is me around. Yeah, right. They're coming towards me. Yudoro. Yep. Yep. Yeah, a lot of choco. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's 1:15. And there they go. To me, it looks like they're maybe changing course something like every half an hour. Yeah, that's amazing. I could say just the same. I never ran into cruises. I ran into a battleship once and once into a aircraft carrier, but cruisers, I don't know. And isn't it pretty pointless to sink them? They don't give you tonnage. Wow, we already see there. Yeah, you're complete.
Alarm! Konvoi in Sicht! Peilung! 35 Grad! Bleibt ruhig und konzentriert, Männer. Wir schaffen das.
Stop the alarm. Rockets, yeah. Yeah, Colin, that's right. They do give you reputation points, yeah. But at the moment I have more reputation points than I could make use of.
Bestätige.
If you ask me, they're just too close. They might spot me like that. I think they're doing a large-scale zigzagging. And here you see, also here I do have quite some difficulty level with unstabilized scope. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's the military. And it's pretty close. That's the man of war escort. Give me a second, just get me a glass of water. think they haven't yet noticed us.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
I just hope that sooner or later they're gonna change course again on their large-scale zigzagging. The military guy is getting closer and closer. Looks like they have a relatively small escort. At least up to now I only figure out one maneuver. A sneaky sausage.
UBOAT 2 gewartet. UBOAT 3 gewartet.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Bestätigen.
We are moving away from the convoy again, I would say.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Estimated distance would be 6 miles at the moment. Just fine. Yeah. I don't dare to do that.
Bestätigen. Konvoi in Sicht. Peilung 120 Grad.
Yeah, we know, but thanks for the hint. $115.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Like that. So I guess they're moving on that course. Roughly. Does make sense.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
So I should have them at 90 degrees if I go like that. Yeah, right. I never actually got punished for sinking neutral ships, but I think I heard that it is not that bad. You get maybe some debuff in reputation, not quite sure. So, what I heard is that sinking neutral ships is not that much of a catastrophe for your career. There they are. A beam, right abeam. I'm really getting tired. It was a tough week. So you might have recognized that my last two streams were not as long as they used to be in the past. It was just 1.5 hours each. And yeah, let's see that we do it a little bit longer tonight. Although, as I said, that week was pretty busy.
Februar 4 gewartet. Februar 1 gewartet.
Alright, that's change of watch.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So in a convoy, you just don't have to heed the flags they are flying. You can just sink any ship in the convoy.
Bestätige.
Yeah, chainsaw, I used to be careful. Because I don't want to get any debuffs from sinking neutral ships. But I think it's not that bad if you do. But I think, I don't know, I think I never did sink a neutral ship. I think they are just about
Konvoi in Sicht.
turning
Peilung,
around again.
130 Grad.
They are nice. So my estimation was pretty alright. Give it another save. W257. They are just turning around.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
So my guess is again that they are moving on something like 90 degrees to their original course. Yep, yeah, you're right. That's, you can board the ships and inspect them, and yeah, even if you don't find anything suspicious, it might still be that they are fake flags. There we go. Give me another 60 seconds. Alright, thanks for your patience. Great that you're still there. I think they are about changing course.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Auf Seerohrtiefe.
That's not good. That guy might have spotted us. Yeah, acquiescing. Yeah, we tried that out, didn't we? When you sink friendlies, you're just out of business. So, the game doesn't explicitly stop, but you just don't have the chance to get any refuel, restore for your boat again. So you are
Herr Kaloi, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
Auf E-Motoren.
can't enter friendly ports anymore, and you either can't enter enemy ports. Yep. It's not like that you can then surrender to the allies. Yeah, but pretty amazing that you actually tried that out.
Konvoi in Sicht. Peilung. 65 Grad.
That's definitely military. So I think we are in a nice position to sink a few merchantmen. Yeah, they could have gotten the boat for research, yeah. So now we are right in the way of that zigzagging convoy. Alright, guys, it's so great to have all of you in the stream, but yeah, I'm pretty tired. I had a tough week, and just like the other two streaming nights before, I just can't extend it to 3 hours. So let's have it like almost 2 hours, and let's continue tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna do another stream tomorrow, but right now I just have to turn in. I'm so tired. Can't continue that any much longer. Yeah, I'm in the year of 1943. So it's the third year of the war. The war having started in September 39. Yeah, alright, it was a pleasure to have you in. Have a good night, guys, and see you tomorrow. So, yeah, at least we found some convoy, and tomorrow we're gonna track them down and sink a few of these guys. So until then, bye bye. See you, and have a good evening, have a good night, or good morning, or whatever time of the day you have. Bye bye.